In a quiet town near Koforidua, Ghana, there lived a girl named Grace Mensa. Her name didn't match her life. From the moment she lost her mother as a baby, she had known nothing but hardship. Her father, a kind palm wine tapper, remarried when she was 9 years old to Madame Cecilia, a well known market woman with a sharp tongue and a daughter named Bella. From the moment Cecilia entered their home, everything changed. Grace was turned into the maid of the house. She fetched water, cooked every meal, washed clothes by hand, and slept on the kitchen floor while Bella enjoyed a soft mattress, fancy dresses, and special treatment. Her father, tired and poor, often ignored it all, choosing peace over confrontation, but Grace remained gentle. She remembered her late mother's last words, spoken by the village midwife. Grace, your mother said you should never turn bitter, no matter how the world treats you. One day your kindness will return to you. She held on to those words. But when Grace turned 18, her father passed away suddenly after falling from a palm tree. That was the end of everything she knew. Cecilia took full control. She sold the family's small farmland, ignored Grace's dream of becoming a seamstress, and forced her to work as a house help for neighbors while Bella prepared to enter university. Your job is to serve this house, Cecilia would say. You're not one of us. Grace cried in secret, but never complained. One Sunday afternoon, Madame Cecilia called Grace into the sitting room. "I've found you a husband," she said with a fake smile. Grace frowned. "But I don't even know anyone." "He's a farmer from a poor village near Akiem. He's old, quiet, and lives in a mud house, but he asked for a humble girl. You fit the bill." Bella laughed from the corner. "This is perfect. Maybe he'll take you far away. No one will see your ugly face again." Grace felt her stomach tighten. She didn't want to marry a stranger, especially an old poor farmer, but she had no voice in the house. That same week, she was packed with her small bag and dropped off by a trotro driver in a remote village called Besize. There, she met her new husband. Thomas, a quiet, wrinkled-looking man in his 60s, with a limp and dusty clothes, stood in front of a small clay house surrounded by dry land. "This is your new home," he said simply. Grace bowed her head. "Yes, sir." And just like that, her life began again, only harder. Despite everything, Grace remained kind. She woke up early to sweep the compound, fetched water from a stream half a mile away, cooked local food with firewood, and even started a small garden behind the house. Thomas barely spoke. He was distant, often disappearing for long hours. He looked poor, dressed poor, and acted poor. But Grace never disrespected him. She never shouted or cursed. She kept her head down and kept serving. Some villagers pitied her. Others laughed. "Fine girl like you living in suffering," one woman mocked. Grace would smile faintly and say, "As long as I have peace, I can grow." Months passed. One night, as she lit a lantern, Thomas suddenly sat up and asked her, "Grace, why are you so kind to me? Don't you hate this life?" She paused. "I've lived in pain all my life, but I believe if you carry kindness, life will one day reward you." Thomas stared at her for a long time, then nodded. "You are not an ordinary girl." One Thursday morning, Grace woke up and found Thomas gone. This time, not just gone for hours, gone for days. She searched. She asked neighbors. No one saw him, until one day, a car drove into the village, a sleek black SUV. Grace ran out thinking something bad had happened. To her shock, Thomas stepped out of the car, but he was wearing expensive clothes, clean shoes, and looked 20 years younger. "What?" she gasped. He smiled for the first time. "Grace, my name is not just Thomas. My full name is Mr. Thomas Owusu, and I am the owner of over 30 cocoa farms, transport companies, and real estate properties. I built this life in secret." Grace's mouth dropped open. For years, I lived in disguise, he continued. After my children betrayed me and my wife died, I came here to live quietly and test the hearts of people. I had money, but I needed someone with a pure soul. Tears filled Grace's eyes. You mean you're not poor? He nodded. And I want to spend the rest of my life making you the happiest woman in Ghana. He took her hand. I've bought you a fashion school in Accra. Your name will be on it. You deserve more than what life gave you. News spread fast. Back in Koforidua, Madame Cecilia and Bella heard about Grace's sudden wealth and success. Envy ate their hearts like poison. Bella, whose university dreams had faded, rushed to Accra to beg Grace. Please forgive us. We didn't know. But Grace looked at her, calm and strong. I begged you for kindness. You laughed at me. Now that the table has turned, I will not laugh back, but I won't forget. She gave them a small shop and some money, enough to survive, but not enough to be greedy with. Some called her foolish for even helping them at all, but Grace smiled. Forgiveness doesn't mean friendship. It just means I refuse to let your darkness take my light. Grace became one of the most loved and respected women in Accra. Her fashion school trained over 200 girls. She opened a foundation for abused house girls and paid school fees for orphans. Mr. Thomas, though older, loved her like a queen, and she cared for him every day until his last breath. When he died, he left her everything, not just houses and cars, but land, businesses, and trust funds. Grace, the girl who once scrubbed floors, now stood on podiums inspiring thousands, and she never changed. She still helped strangers. She still prayed every morning. She still told her story. Because in her own words, kindness doesn't make you poor. It makes you powerful in ways money can't explain. Moral lesson. True kindness, even in secret pain, will never go unrewarded. Never allow people's cruelty to change your good heart. Your blessing is never lost. It is just waiting for the right time. This is the end of this story.